Welcome to the Simply Pediatrics Podcast, simplifying holistic healthcare for infants and children. We're so glad you're here. Join Jennifer Zethner, holistic pediatric nurse practitioner and holistic mom of 3 on a mission. Listen in as she shares the answers to the most asked questions from parents in her practice every day and offers parents practical strategies and actionable steps to support their child's health and well-being. Enjoy this insightful episode of the Simply Pediatrics Podcast and stay tuned for more information at the end of the podcast. Today's episode, Chronic Childhood Conditions.
Hello and welcome. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Today, I feel this strong need to reach out to the so many families that I meet every week. I meet so many families each week who come in with their child who has what we call a chronic condition. Chronic condition is something like always have a stuffy nose, always getting ear infections, always with a sore throat or enlarged tonsils, eczema, other skin rashes, constipation, diarrhea, stomach aches all the time, or developmental delays, having difficulty with their speech, having trouble learning to read, having trouble staying focused. Someone's talking to you about an ADD or an ADHD diagnosis. All of these are very common chronic childhood conditions that bring, parents to their pediatrician every day, all day. And so I often meet many of you who, by the time you've gotten to me, have really gone and done a lot. You've done a lot of medications, so many antibiotics, or other medications that your children have been on, and you haven't seen any good results. Or you've done a lot of therapies. You spent a lot of money on all kinds of therapies and all kinds of supplements. And many of them are helpful, useful, but you're really not seeing the change that you want to see. I will tell you that before you even come in to see me, the very, very first thing that I tell families to do is to change their child's diet. And I feel so terrible for families when they come in and they've done so many things, and how frustrating it is to be told that they're doing a lot of different therapies and supplements that may be helpful, but they're putting it into a body that's just constantly inflamed from the foods that they're eating. So please consider your child's diet. Please consider your child's diet. I know. Parents don't want to hear, families don't want to hear that their child has to be dairy-free or gluten-free, or decrease the sugar, or avoid the food colorings and preservatives, or take other foods out of their diet. After all these years of this work, I am so surprised by the reactions that I get from families and how they feel just completely incapable, actually, of doing these things. And I hear you, I understand, but it is the cheapest, it is the easiest, it has the no negative impact on your child except them kicking and screaming, really, to change your child's diet. So please, parents, look at your child's diet. If you have a child who's lacking focus, say, and they're not paying attention in class, or they're having difficulty with their behaviors in class, and it's been going on for a long time, but they go to school and they don't eat breakfast. They must eat breakfast. Your children, not only do you need to take out the foods that may be causing inflammation in their body, but you also need to make sure they're eating the proper foods to drive them through their day. Many of our teenagers just don't eat breakfast. Many of our little kids will only eat the standard American diet, floury, sugary breakfast. That's the only thing that they will eat or that they're being given. Those foods will not drive your kid through the day. Try it yourself. It won't drive you through the day either. You need iron-rich foods to start your day off in order to function optimally. I have a whole other podcast, if you haven't seen it, about this, optimizing your child, and it talks a little bit about the diet and some other things to help your child. So certainly look at that podcast. I also have another podcast about picky eaters, which may help many of you out there who may be listening to this just being like, no, I can't do it. My child will not. They must eat this food or that food. Take a look at my picky eaters podcast for some guidance in that direction. But trust me, the biggest bang for the buck we really see, all holistic providers know this, the biggest changes we see in children, especially who are struggling with a chronic condition, is changing their diet. If you're just wandering around with supplements and therapies, you're just spinning your wheels. You're really not getting to the root causes and getting to the work that has to be done to help your child with their chronic conditions. Now listen, I understand that it might not cure everything, but for the most part, it is the first place to start. It genuinely is. Look over their diets. Do some research on inflammatory foods. Look at your own family, you and your husband, your siblings. Are there foods that you and your husband can't eat because it bothers you? Or is there foods that their siblings can't eat because they're sensitive or allergic? That might be the food that you need to take out of your child's diet. We can do that research, and investigative work is really what I call it, to try to figure out where to begin with the inflammatory foods, which are dairy, our gluten, our sugary foods, soy. Corn is also a big factor for some children. Histamine producing foods can be another issue for children. Really just take a look at these and get started. Get started today with it, because you will see a change in your child. I know, moms and dads, food is such a celebration in our culture, and it is difficult to alter your child's diet. And food is a celebration, but food is medicine. Start there and get going to see the changes in your child. Remember, parenting is a journey, and you're doing an amazing job. Stay curious and keep learning. I'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining Jennie on the Simply Pediatrics Podcast. We hope that the valuable information she shared in this episode will inspire and empower you on your holistic parenting journey. If you would like to learn more about Jennie, her Simply Pediatrics practice, or anything that she spoke about today, please check the show notes that accompany this podcast, and you'll find all the links and resources you need. You can also sign up for the Simply Pediatrics mailing list so that you receive Jennie's weekly newsletters packed with vital information and holistic parenting gems. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please consider giving this page a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any episodes. And don't forget to connect with us by sharing your thoughts in the comments section below. Follow Simply Pediatrics on any and all of the social media platforms. And if you're interested in an in-person or a virtual appointment with Jennie, please see the contact details in the show notes. Stay tuned for more episodes packed with a wealth of powerful information to support you on your holistic parenting path. See you next time.